Mama Chibuzo collapsed beside the river. Her hands were shaking. Her eyes were blurry. In her arms was her 7-year-old son, Chibuzo. The boy's body was hot like fire. His breathing was weak. Women standing nearby were already shaking their heads. "This child will not survive the night," someone whispered. Mama Chibuzo screamed. She dropped to her knees in the sand and cried out loud. "God, take my life instead. Don't take my son." People stared. Some felt pity. Some felt tired of her crying. But Mama Chibuzo did not care. She carried the boy again and ran. The promise she made that day. That night, Chibuzo survived. By morning, the fever was gone. People called it a miracle. Mama Chibuzo called it a promise. She held her son and whispered, "If you live, I will suffer for you. If you grow, I will give you everything I have." She did not know how expensive that promise would be. A child of 7. A mother of pain. From that day, life became harder. She gave birth at the age of 53 years. After looking for a child for 23 years in marriage, Chibuzo was her everything. Her life, her only son, her only child. Her husband died when the baby was 3 years old. She carried all the responsibility alone. Mama Chibuzo woke up before sunrise. She washed people's clothes until her fingers cracked. She sold firewood under hot sun. Then her body. Sometimes, when she returned home, she could not stand straight. But every evening, Chibuzo ran to her. "Mama," he would shout. That alone gave her strength. When hunger became normal, there were days Mama Chibuzo cooked without tasting the food. "Eat, my son," she said, pushing the plate toward him. "What about you, Mama?" "I ate already." It was a lie. But Chibuzo was only 7. He believed her. At night, Mama Chibuzo drank water and slept with hunger. The mockery began early. At the stream, women laughed. "You wash clothes like a slave," they said. "Is your son a king?" Children mocked her too. "Mama Chibuzo smells of soap." They shouted. She kept quiet. She washed. She suffered. She smiled for her son. Years passed. Pain remained. Chibuzo grew. School fees increased. Books cost more. Life became harder. Mama Chibuzo sold her wrappers. She sold her cooking pots. She sold everything that could be sold. Each time she told herself, "It is for my son." The day she let him go, one evening, Chibuzo stood before her. "Mama," he said quietly, "they say if I go far, I can become something." Mama Chibuzo looked at him. Her heart shook. She nodded, even though she knew letting him go might finish her. The morning Chibuzo left, Mama Chibuzo did not cry. She stood quietly, holding a small nylon bag. Inside it was all she could give him. 2 shirts, 1 trouser, a pair of worn sandals, and food wrapped carefully in leaves. Her hands trembled as she handed it over. "Manage this when you reach," she said softly. Chibuzo nodded, avoiding her eyes. He was no longer the small boy who clung to her wrapper. He was taller now, quieter, already looking far away. The last thing she owned, before he stepped onto the bus. Mama Chibuzo did one last thing. She removed the wrapper tied around her waist. People gasped. That wrapper was old, but it was her last good cloth. She sold it quickly, added the money to his hand, and closed his fingers around it. "For transport and food," she whispered. The bus conductor shouted. Chibuzo climbed in. The engine started. Mama Chibuzo waved. The bus moved. She kept waving even when the bus was gone. Only when the dust settled did her legs give way. She sat on the bare ground and laughed. A dry, broken laugh. After Chibuzo left, Mama Chibuzo did not rest. She could not. Every morning she woke up with one thought. "My son is alone in the city." At first, Chibuzo called. "Mama, I have reached," he said on the phone. Mama Chibuzo sat on the floor and cried with joy. "Thank God," she replied. "Are you eating well?" Yes, Mama. Those words were enough for her to survive another week. The calls that gave her strength. During holidays, Chibuzo called more often. Sometimes he complained. Mama, things are hard here. Mama, school fees have increased. Mama, we have problem. Each time he said it, Mama Chibuzo's heart squeezed. But she never said no. Don't worry, she replied. I will find a way. She always found a way. What she sold for his future, Mama Chibuzo sold everything. First, she sold the small land behind her house. Then, her extra wrapper. Then, her cooking pot. When nothing valuable was left, she picked bottles from the roadside. She washed them. She sold them. She washed more clothes than before. She carried heavier loads. Her hands became swollen. Her back became worse. Yet, every time she sent money, she smiled. My son will not suffer, she said. She ate less so he could have more. Some nights, Mama Chibuzo slept without food. Some days, she drank gari and water and called it dinner. When people asked her why she looked thinner, she laughed. My son is growing, she said proudly. People shook their heads. She will kill herself for that boy, some said. Mama Chibuzo did not hear them. She was already sending another transfer. Things began to change for Chibuzo. Slowly, Chibuzo's voice changed. His calls became shorter. I'm busy, Mama. I'll call you later. But Mama Chibuzo was happy. He is serious now, she told herself. She did not know. Life was changing for him. The breakthrough she never knew about. Chibuzo got a job. Then another opportunity. Then contracts. Money entered his life. New friends. Better clothes. A new way of speaking. But he did not tell his mother. Not once. When she asked how he was surviving, he answered carelessly. I manage. Yet, whenever he said, Mama, I need money, she still sent it. Even when she had nothing left to sell. The shame he hid. One evening, Chibuzo sat with his friends. They laughed and shared stories. One friend asked, What does your mother do? Chibuzo hesitated. Then he said it. She's just a poor village woman. The words tasted strange in his mouth. But he said nothing more. The day he cut her off, that night, Mama Chibuzo called. It rang. No answer. She called again. No answer. She sent a message. No reply. Later, Chibuzo looked at his phone. Her name appeared. He frowned. This poor woman, he muttered, does not deserve to be my mother, and he blocked the number. When silence became fear, Mama Chibuzo waited. No calls. No messages. Days passed. Her heart became heavy. She borrowed another phone and tried again. It did not go through. That was when fear entered her chest. She sat down slowly and whispered, Chibuzo, what is wrong? Then weeks. Mama Chibuzo waited. She waited for a call. She waited for a message. She waited for news. Nothing came. Still she did not complain. She returned to washing clothes. Returned to selling firewood. Returned to suffering. But now she suffered alone. At night she talked to his empty space. Have you eaten? Are you safe? God, protect my son. Hope became a habit. One day someone said, I heard your son is doing well. Her heart jumped. Another day someone said, he has not sent anything. She smiled. He will. Even when hunger bent her back further, she believed. The village changed its mouth. Pity disappeared. Mockery returned. Your son has forgotten you, women said openly now. You suffered for nothing. Some laughed louder than before. If my son was in the city, I wouldn't be washing clothes like this. One woman mocked. Mama Chibuzo washed in silence. Soap burned her cracked hands. Tears mixed with river water, Mama Chibuzo waited. Every morning, she picked up her small phone and stared at it. No missed calls. No messages. She pressed the power button again and again. Maybe the phone is bad, she murmured. Maybe the battery is dead. She borrowed another charger. She charged it fully. Still nothing. Her chest tightened. Fear she couldn't explain. At night, Mama Chibuzo could not sleep. She turned from side to side on her mat. What if something happened to him? She whispered. What if he is sick? What if he is in trouble? She prayed until her voice became weak. God, don't let my son suffer alone. She never imagined that the silence was intentional. Life didn't pause for her pain. By morning, Mama Chibuzo returned to work. She washed clothes. She carried firewood. She bent over like a woman twice her age. But the village noticed something. She had grown thinner, quieter. People began to talk. Hasn't your son called? One woman asked casually. Mama Chibuzo forced a smile. He will call, she replied. Mockery became louder. Days passed, then weeks. The village grew bold. If your son is in the city, why are you still washing clothes? Maybe he has forgotten you completely. Some laughed. Others shook their heads in pity. Mama Chibuzo said nothing. She only worked harder. The day news walked into her compound one hot afternoon. Mama Chibuzo was resting outside her house when a young girl ran in. It was Diana, her neighbor's daughter, a smart girl who worked in town. Mama. Diana shouted, breathing fast. Mama Chibuzo stood up suddenly. My daughter. What is it? What happened? Diana froze. Something happened. But not bad. She swallowed. Mama. Chibuzo is very rich, the shocking truth. Diana brought out her phone. There is a company near my office, she said. Everybody knows the CEO. She showed her the screen. Mama Chibuzo's eyes widened. It was Chibuzo. Clean suit, confident smile, standing beside powerful men. Diana whispered, he is a billionaire CEO, Mama. Mama Chibuzo staggered. Her legs almost failed her. My son, she whispered. Thank God. She was very happy. The village heard it all. News spread fast, very fast. People gathered. So your son is rich like this? A CEO? A billionaire? Some clapped. Some laughed bitterly. And he left you like this? Someone asked loudly. Another woman said, if my son was this rich, I would not be washing clothes. The words cut deep. Mama Chibuzo said nothing. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Pain louder than hunger that night. Mama Chibuzo sat alone. Her heart was confused. If he is rich, why didn't he call? If he is a CEO, why am I still suffering? She pressed her chest. God, she cried softly. What did I do wrong? The question that shook the villagers, the gossip had changed. Why is Chibuzo not taking care of his mother? Does he know she is suffering like this? Mama Chibuzo heard everything. She stood up slowly. I will not disturb him, she said, but I must see him. Her voice was calm, but her heart was breaking. She told Diana to give her the address by morning. Mama Chibuzo went to the city. Mama Chibuzo walked slowly toward the towering building. The sun reflected off the glass windows, blinding her eyes. Her heart pounded. Every step felt heavier than the last. She had crossed rivers in her village, walked through mud, and endured hunger for this moment. She had to see her son, the boy she had raised with her blood, sweat, and tears. Blocked by security. At the entrance, guards in crisp uniforms stared at her simple clothes and worn shoes. Ma'am, you cannot enter without an appointment, said one guard. I am his mother, she said, trembling. The man on gate is my son. Please, I must see him. The guards shook their heads. No exceptions. Mama Chibuzo's hands shook. Her chest ached. She looked up and saw Chibuzo walking toward the gate, surrounded by friends and colleagues. Public denial. Chibuzo, my son, she cried. Her voice cracked like fragile glass. He stopped. He saw her. Then he laughed coldly at his friends. Who is this woman? He asked, his tone sharp. I I don't know her. She is not my mother. Mama Chibuzo froze. Her legs wobbled. Chibuzo, it is me. Your mother, she shouted, tears blinding her eyes. He shook his head. I am not your son. I don't know you. Security moved forward. They grabbed her arms, trying to drag her out. Mama Chibuzo stumbled, her cries echoing. My son, why? Why would you do this to me? The employees, his friends, and the public watched in stunned silence. Even the sun seemed to hide behind clouds. The return to the village. Dragged out of the city and humiliated, Mama Chibuzo returned to the village. Her body ached, her spirit bruised. All the sacrifices, all the pain, all the sleepless nights she had endured seemed meaningless now. She returned home quietly, sat on her small mat, and cried. She whispered to herself, God, I gave him everything. All my strength, all my love. And this is what I get. The miracle of Chinedu. Days passed. Life felt empty. Then a young man appeared at her door. Do you remember me? He asked. Mama Chibuzo's eyes widened. It was Chinedu. A boy she had helped when he was a little boy, fed him, gave him clothes, cared for him when no one else would. I never forgot you, Mama, he said, smiling warmly. I have never forgotten your kindness. Now I want to help you. Chinedu built her a beautiful house, gave her comfort, and treated her with respect and love. For the first time in years, Mama Chibuzo felt peace. Chibuzo's fall from pride. Meanwhile, Chibuzo continued his life, arrogant and proud. But pride has a way of catching up with people. Business deals failed. Partners turned their backs. Money vanished. His friends deserted him. The proud CEO who had denied his mother was now alone, broken and humiliated. One stormy evening, Chibuzo appeared at Chinedu's house, where Mama Chibuzo now lived. His expensive suit was torn, his shoes scuffed, his face haggard, his eyes filled with shame. Mama, please, forgive me, he begged. I was wrong. I don't deserve your love, but I am sorry. Please. Mama Chibuzo looked at him. The pain in her heart still lingered, but she took a deep breath. You are my son, she said softly. I forgive you. But remember, pride can destroy and love can heal. You have lost your wealth, your power, but you still have a chance to rebuild your life the right way. Chibuzo sank to his knees, tears streaming down his face. The man who had once mocked the woman who gave him everything. Now humbled, broken, and learning the value of a mother's love, Mama Chibuzo embraced him, and for the first time in years, everything felt right. The village, the city, the gossip, the wealth, none of it mattered. Her son had learned a lesson. No money, no pride, no power can replace a mother's love and sacrifices. Mama Chibuzo, once poor and humiliated, now stood tall with dignity and hope. Chibuzo, once rich and arrogant, now knew the true meaning of life, loss, and love. And in the quiet of that home, with rain tapping on the roof, mother and son were together again, not as billionaire and maid, but as mother and child, bound by love that could never be broken. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share so you don't miss our next stories.